Okinawa, Japan, an island crossroads in the South China Sea. It's the birthplace of the world's most popular and brutal martial art, karate.
We're going to immerse ourselves in this ancient art and follow its roots back to the time of the samurai.
We'll experience its toughest training,
learn its deadliest secrets,
and go toe-to-toe with a black belt.
There are hundreds of distinct fighting styles in the world. They are practiced in every nation and by every people. Now, Jason Chambers, a mixed martial artist and professional fighter, and Bill Duff, a former pro football player and wrestler, are embarked on a mission to explore the history and techniques of these incredible martial arts. And at the end of each journey, one of these two warriors will face the ultimate test. They'll try to survive a real fight with a true human weapon.
This is the 14th annual All-Okinawa Karate Championships at the Budokan Martial Arts Facility in Naha City, Okinawa.
Really going at it.
Oh, God. He's making mincemeat out of his chest.
Look how intense he looks, too. There's no wraps, there's no protective gear. These guys are beating the living hell out of each other.
There are several different styles of karate with histories dating back more than 500 years.
That could be you in there, please.
We're watching one called Kyokushin. Kyokushin is a modern style famous for kumite, a kind of full-contact sparring. And don't let the white robes fool you. With no pads or protective gear, this kind of fighting is as brutal as a bar fight. And the goal is similar too. Beat your opponent to the mat.
Most kumite fights are built around just a few key moves: low kicks, straight punches, high kicks, knee strikes, and forearm blocks and strikes. These are the main weapons of a Kyokushin fighter.
Punches or chops to the head are not allowed in a kumite. But bone-crunching kicks are.
Oh! 5 more seconds.
He did about 4 kicks to the face.
After the fight, we met up with Shishinoi Sensei, a 7th degree Kyokushin Karate black belt and 4-time heavyweight national champion. He had a challenge for us.
Here, Sensei just says, go and visit several dojos on the island, gain some more practice. You're welcome to have a fight with one of his students.
A kumite fight?
Yeah, a kumite fight.
So if we proved him that we're good enough, we're gonna get to have an actual kumite fight with one of his students.
First, you have to show that in your training.
Our kumite will be with Masaki Shimajiri, a 2nd degree Kyokushin black belt and the reigning champion of the Kyokushin Union World Tournament. He's kicked butt all over these islands, and he's going after one of us next.
The Kyokushin seems really brutal to me. A lot of punches to the chest, a lot of kicks to the legs. I just have to really condition my body and come up with a way to block these little fast guys and figure out how to win a fight.
Though most people think of karate as a Japanese martial art, it really isn't. It's Okinawan. And because Okinawa sits midway between Japan and China, karate owes a debt to both Chinese kung fu and Japanese jiu-jitsu.
In the 15th century, the island now known as Okinawa was called the Ryukyu Kingdom. One of the wealthiest kingdoms in Asia, Ryukyu carried on trade with places as far away as Java. But it did most of its business with China, trading textiles, silver, and herbs.
But they didn't just trade goods, they also traded knowledge of martial arts, including several varieties of kung fu. And it was the combination of Chinese Kung Fu and the native martial art called Tei that led to the creation of karate.
But Japan did play a key role in karate's history. In 1609, the Satsuma clan of samurai conquered the Ryukyuan kingdom. Under their sometimes oppressive rule, karate became the common people's only defense. Though Okinawa kept its own language and culture, it was essentially a colony for almost 300 years.
Then, in 1872, the Japanese government made Okinawa officially a part of Japan. To integrate themselves, the Okinawans adopted the Japanese language and tried to make their native martial art more Japanese. They even changed its name. Before the 19th century, karate was often called kodate, meaning Chinese hand. But around the turn of the 19th century, its name was modified to the more Japanese-sounding karate, meaning empty hand. They made a few other changes to make karate more Japanese too, as we found out when we got our training uniforms. The karate gi isn't original to karate. It's actually derived from the Japanese uniform of judo, but it is very functional, loose, tough, and flexible for fighting.
Okay? Yeah? In karate, the belt designates rank by color, a system adopted from judo in the 1920s in another effort to encourage the Japanese to accept karate. The darkening colors, from white to black, are believed by some to symbolize the darkening of the belt with age and experience. Even though we've trained in a lot of different fighting styles, when it comes to karate, we're still beginners, which means our belts would be white.
I'm gonna try Mikey.
Yeah, your turn.
These tie over here, right? Does this have a good snap to it? Ooh, you hear that? Nice. How's the back? Does it look like it hangs well? Looks good.
With our new gis, we were ready to begin the training that would ultimately lead us to fight a black belt Okinawan champion.
Really loose.
And we had come to the right place. Naha City is not only the capital of Okinawa, it's the world capital of karate. There are over 400 world-renowned karate dojos spread across this tiny island, 122 of which are based right here in Naha City.
And it was from Naha that karate spread across the globe. In 1945, Naha was the site of the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific theater of World War II. Almost 500,000 U.S. soldiers stormed the beaches here. But most of the soldiers they faced were Japanese. The Okinawan civilians were caught in the middle. After fighting that caused hundreds of thousands of deaths, the Marines defeated the Japanese, and U.S. forces occupied Okinawa until 1972. And it was those U.S. soldiers who began training in Okinawan karate and eventually carried it back home to the States. Today, it's practiced by more than 50 million people, making it the most popular martial art in the world.
Now, many foreigners come back to Okinawa to get closer to the source of karate. Places like Shishinoe Sensei's dojo.
I am the moped champion.
You win. Savor your victories. They come few and far between.